I think a lot of what I've learned is just from paying for mentors, and learning from them. To be honest, I'm somebody that loves to be coached because I love to coach people. So for me, I love learning from people that I view as where I want to go. And so for me, the best way to learn where I need to go and how to do it is to pay people that are actually doing it and learning from there. And so for me, I think it's a chain event of, as you level up, you're going to keep getting higher and higher with somebody else that's above you or above them. So for me right now, like, I have a business coach and I've learned so much from him, and he's really taught me a lot about business and just life in general. And so having conversations with him to where he also points out my strong suits, he points out my weaknesses and how to do that. That's where I think I became the most self-aware. And that's how, when you were talking about bumpers, I think it was from having somebody that could take that 30,000 foot view of me and relay that back to me of like, hey, like, this just isn't something you're strong at. So like, why don't we look at this option? I'm like, oh, okay, cool. We get in our own ways because we don't know what we're not good at, because we're not asking for help. And I think that's where a lot of entrepreneurs actually mess up is, in my 20s, I think I was, and probably even in my teens, I was a very big know-it-all, more than likely. I don't want to admit that, but I think I have to admit that because we all probably were like that. And so I think as I got older and just wiser from, being an adult, I just started learning like, hey, you don't know what it's like to do these things, so you need to go learn. And once I kind of got out of my own way of saying, no, I can do this on my own, and started paying for it and seeing like my coach's success and him then teaching me what to do next, I think that was just the big breakthrough that I needed, and understood now, okay, like, there's certain levels to this that you don't even have any clue how to do. So now that you have somebody in your corner that can teach you this, you're going to be able to move a lot faster. And so I just always want people to realize, you might pay a lot of money for a coach or a mentor, and don't get me wrong, there's some good ones and some bad ones. So, you want to vet that very carefully. But when you find a good one, you're going to make your money back as an entrepreneur. And so it's scary to pay a lot of money up front to not know what the actual return is. But I also think that comes back on you. If you do the work, because these people have obviously done this, if you do what they tell you to do, you're probably going to make your money back, and then it's okay. It's worth it. But if you don't do what they're teaching you, just like in anything, you can go back to grade school. If you don't do the work, you're not going to learn. So you have to do the work yourself, and they're there to guide you, like any coach, just like I do with my clients. If I teach you something and I tell you what to do, I can't then force you to go eat healthier. You have to stop going to McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's and Bojangles. Like, I can't force you to do that. But if you take what I'm telling you and you apply it, then you can be successful. And that just goes with any level. There's always the education. And I think where most people mess up in any type of coaching is the application of the education. Because we have the internet. You can probably learn a lot of the stuff that my own coach is teaching me off the internet. But the way he applies it and the way that he does it resonates with me, right? So him being able to apply what he's learned into what should be done down to me is a really key step in me being able to succeed. That then translates to me being very successful in knowing nutrition and exercise. And now I need to learn how to apply what I know to each client as an individual. So people all the time are like, well, how do you know so much? Or, why do I do this? Because a lot of coaches in my space will just tell you, hey, here's your macros, here's what I want you to eat, go do it. Well, we all know when it comes to dieting and exercise that not everybody's the same. You have to be able to relay your message in different ways depending upon the person. So you have to know people, and you have to know how to take the education and help them apply it in their day-to-day life. And if you can do that, you can be very, very successful as a coach in my business. But there's a lot of smart coaches out there who I'll never be able to speak above because they're so book smart, but yet they are so broke because they don't know how to take what's in the book and apply it to the individual. And so I think that's really key for a lot of people, is understanding the application of things.